After the last 5 months of really high inventory levels, our active listings have finally gone down and homes are sitting on the market longer. So, how's the housing market looking here in Olympia? I'll break it down for you in my December 2025 update. Hi friends, I'm Realtor Scott Tompkins, your 360 agent. I live right here in beautiful Olympia, Washington, and here are my key takeaways about the real estate market in Thurston County for December 2025. The number of new listings was up slightly from last year. I've told you for the last 5 months that we've had over 800 active listings, levels that we haven't seen since late 2018. That number has come down to 684 this month, still fairly high and up almost 50% from a year ago. Pending sales are up about 7% from last year, and closed sales are down slightly. The typical home that sold in November here was built in 1990, had just over 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, and featured about 2,100 finished square feet. 66% had air conditioning, and half were in an HOA. Our months of inventory was a hair over 2.9 months of supply, up almost 50% from last year. This means that it would take almost 3 months to sell all the available homes. We're still in a seller's market, but it's close to a balanced market, and we've shifted to conditions that are more favorable to buyers. As always, some areas are hotter than others. For the second month in a row, Lacey had just 1.3 months of supply, an indicator of a competitive market. On the other end of the spectrum, Rochester in southwest Thurston County, hey Rochester, had 14.5 months of supply, solidly in a buyer's market. Sellers in November accepted an offer in 51 days, up a full week from last month's 44 days, and 2 weeks longer than a year ago. This month, about 48% of buyers used conventional financing, 8% used FHA financing, 12% paid cash, and 27% used VA loans. Homes this month sold for almost a full percent below the listing price, right where we've been since August. Home prices continue to increase. Our median sales price was $535,000, unchanged from last month, but up $20,000 from a year ago, which represents a 3.9% increase. Remember that median is the middle price, where half the homes sold for less and half sold for more. Our average sales price was just under $584,000, a yearly increase of about $22,000 or 4% from last November. About 63% of sellers offered some type of seller concessions, such as assistance with buyers' closing costs. The number of sellers who needed to reduce the price of their home increased to 46.6%. This is the highest this number has been in the year and a half that I've tracked price reductions. I think we're seeing this number this high because high recent inventory levels have given buyers lots of choices, so homes have been sitting on the market longer. And sellers have needed to entice buyers to make an offer before the end of the year. If you're a seller who's needed to reduce the price of your home, don't feel bad. The median price reduction for homes that needed them was over 5%. So a typical total price reduction would be over $28,000 in our market. Now let's take a look at how hot the market is by looking at several of my favorite stats. First, multiple offers. In November, 19% of closed homes had multiple offers, down slightly from the 17% we saw in October. Next, we had 18% of buyers waiving inspections, no change from October's number. Lastly, only 3% of buyers use an escalation addendum, a tool that automatically increases your offer to beat other buyers. This number was also unchanged from October. Before I tie this all together, please take a second to like and subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll know when I release future videos. I appreciate you. So is this a good time to buy or sell a home in the South Puget Sound? Here's my take. Buyers, the numbers that jump out at me this month paint a picture of a market that's slowed. Homes are sitting on the market for over 7 weeks. Almost 2/3 of sellers are helping with buyers' closing costs, and about 47% of the number of sellers needed to do at least one price reduction. That's the highest this number has been in the roughly year and a half that I've tracked it. In short, if I were in the market to buy a home, I think this is a good time to do it. Remember also that home prices continue to increase. November was another month where we saw prices increase about 4% year over year. So waiting to buy will mean paying more down the road, and you're in a very favorable position to get help with your closing costs or make a reasonable offer under the list price. Sellers, I think a lot of you are probably experiencing some fatigue, and it's been a challenging market for sure. We've got about 3 months of inventory, meaning that buyers have more choices, but the number of active listings is trending down, which is normal for this time of year. Many buyers are in the middle of holiday plans and excitement, so don't take it personally. This is a great time to take care of those indoor projects so that you're 100% market ready in the spring. Got questions about buying or selling in Thurston County? Drop a comment below or text me anytime. I'd love to chat about your needs for this coming year. Enjoy this special time with friends and family. Happy holidays and happy house hunting.